The wait is finally over, and the real work begins right now, as the NBA playoffs are officially upon us. All eyes are glued to San Antonio, where Victor Wembanyama is preparing to lead the surging Spurs into a high-stakes postseason run. After a historic regular season that saw the team rack up 62 wins, their young superstar is ready to turn those childhood dreams of a championship into a reality on the hardwood.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Victor Wembanyama is already being hailed as a global icon and a defensive force of nature who has single-handedly redefined what it means to be a modern NBA big man. With numbers that no player in the history of the league has ever produced in a single season, he is entering this playoff bracket as a player who literally does it all. From his unique ability to guard the perimeter to his rim-protecting dominance, the league is buzzing about whether this rookie-turned-contender will deliver a title in his first postseason appearance. While the hype around San Antonio is at an all-time high, there is one major hurdle standing between them and the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Analysts are pointing to the team's three-point shooting as a potential kryptonite that could derail their championship ambitions if they don't find their rhythm. With key players like De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle needing to prove they can consistently hit from deep, the pressure is mounting on these shooters to step up when defenses tighten their grip. This historic season for the San Antonio Spurs has been defined by grit, from mechanical plane failures to incredible fourth-quarter comebacks that proved this team is ready for the brightest stage. They are now officially prepared to tip off their first-round series against the Portland Trail Blazers with the momentum of a franchise reborn. Do you think this young squad has what it takes to hoist the trophy this June? Let us know your predictions in the comments below, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you never miss an update. Ever wonder what happens when a generational talent actually lives up to the impossible hype? Victor Wembanyama isn't just playing basketball. He's rewriting the rulebook for what a 7'4" human being should be capable of. We're talking about a guy who is a lock for Defensive Player of the Year, a staple of the All-NBA team, and someone who somehow balances MVP buzz with reading books at the All-Star game and debating league policy like a tenured professor. But the stats, they're the real story. With over 1,600 points, 700 rebounds, and nearly 200 blocks, he's not just in a league of his own. He's in a category that literally hasn't existed before. When you realize that even without his shot blocking, he's putting up numbers comparable to legends like Dirk Nowitzki and Nikola Jokic, you start to understand why the San Antonio Spurs have climbed back to a dominant 60-20 record. After 3 years of building, the Spurs are finally back in the thick of a title race, and the playoffs are the ultimate test for their young superstar. Coach Mitch Johnson and veteran voices like Harrison Barnes are witnessing something authentic. But as Wembanyama himself admits, dreaming of an NBA title is natural. It's what you work for from the moment you pick up a ball. With the Blazers standing in their way in the first round, the stage is set. Will this be the year the Spurs reclaim their dynasty, or is this just the first chapter of a much longer story? If you're as hyped as we are to see if Wemby can lead San Antonio to glory, smash that like button and subscribe for more coverage on the road to the finals. At the end of the day, basketball is a game of dreams, but for Victor Wembanyama, the dream is starting to look a lot like reality. What do you get when you combine the defensive dominance of a generational talent with the IQ of a veteran and the poise of an old soul? You get Victor Wembanyama, and for the San Antonio Spurs, the future has officially arrived. Let's be honest, Wemby hasn't just met expectations, he's shattered them. We're talking about a guy who is practically a lock for Defensive Player of the Year, a staple on the All-NBA team, and a legitimate MVP contender, all before he's even had a taste of the postseason. After helping lead the Spurs to a staggering 60-20 record, their best in a decade, the stage is finally set for his first-ever NBA playoff run. When asked about being ready for the big stage, Wembanyama kept it grounded, noting that the playoffs are the dream everyone chases from the moment they pick up a ball. and history is on his side. San Antonio enters this postseason as a dangerous second seed, and if past performance is any indicator, this team is built for a deep run. It's a new era under coach Mitch Johnson, with a core featuring De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle, but let's be real, this is Victor's show. What makes him truly terrifying isn't just his 7'4" frame, it's his intellectual curiosity. Whether he's spending his offseason at a Buddhist temple or debating the league's 65-game rule with the analytical mind of a college professor, he's simply not your average 21-year-old. Statistically, he's in a league of his own. He's the only player in NBA history to hit his specific combination of points, rebounds, assists, threes, and blocks. When guys like Portland coach Tiago Splitter, who won a ring with the Spurs back in 2014, call you a complete player, you know the hype is real. Right now, Vegas has the Spurs as the second favorite to win it all, trailing only the defending champs in Oklahoma City. The pressure is mounting, but Wembanyama says he's focusing on the process, staying locked into the scouts and showing up to practice the right way. So, what do you think? Is this the year the Spurs dynasty reclaims its throne, or will the weight of the playoffs be too much for this young squad? Drop your predictions in the comments below, hit that like button if you're a Wemby believer, and subscribe for more coverage as we track the road to the finals. At the end of the day, dreams only come true for those who are willing to put in the work, and it looks like Victor Wembanyama is just getting started. Could a single, recurring flaw be the silent killer of the San Antonio Spurs championship dreams? We love watching this team dominate, and they have every right to be considered top-tier contenders this June. But there is one glaring red flag that keeps popping up like a recurring nightmare: their perimeter shooting. I know, everyone talks about three-point percentage, but look at the math. The last 5 NBA champions all ranked in the top 8 from deep. The Spurs. They are currently stuck in the middle of the pack, ranking 15th. That is a dangerous place to be when you are heading into a high-stakes playoff environment. The problem isn't just a stat sheet issue, it is a tactical trap. Teams are going to pack the paint and dare San Antonio's shooters to prove them wrong. Take De'Aaron Fox, for instance. He is an absolute menace inside the arc, but with a 33% clip from deep, defenders are going to back off and bait him into shots he does not want to take. Then you have Stephon Castle and young talents like Carter Bryant and Keldon Johnson. Sure, Castle had a hot streak after the All-Star break, but playoffs are a different beast. Can he maintain that pressure when every game is a grind? Even Victor Wembanyama is going to find himself coerced into taking jumpers he should not be taking just because defenses will refuse to let him get to the cup. This puts head coach Mitch Johnson in a really tough spot. If he runs rotations that put too many shaky shooters on the floor at once, the offense will stagnate, and the paint will become a crowded disaster zone for our stars. The Spurs have been an elite offensive force all year despite these hurdles, but history is unforgiving. If the Titanic sank because of a single iceberg, the Spurs might just sink because of a cold shooting night in the second round. Do you think they have enough perimeter depth to go all the way, or is this the fatal flaw that sends them home early? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the postseason race. At the end of the day, championships are won in the paint, but they are often secured from the arc. Remember when we all thought the Spurs would just be fighting for a play-in spot? Fast forward to today, and San Antonio is officially back in the playoffs for the first time since 2019. With Game 1 against the Blazers right around the corner, we're wrapping up our deep dive into one of the most historic regular seasons this franchise has ever seen. If you want to know when the Spurs officially leveled up from promising youngsters to title contenders, you have to look at February 1st. The team was literally stranded, dealing with snowstorms and an emergency landing in Atlanta, arriving at the arena just hours before tip-off against the Magic. Most teams would have rolled over, but that grit, that was the spark. They rattled off an 11-game win streak, becoming the first team in history to have an undefeated month while scoring at least 110 points in every single game. Talk about a statement. Then came the moments that proved they weren't just a flash in the pan. Whether it was Stephon Castle and Wemby dropping back-to-back 40-point masterpieces, or the team finally silencing critics who said they couldn't handle physical play by taking down the top-seeded Pistons, the Spurs were imposing their will. And don't even get me started on that wild comeback against the Clippers. Down 25. No problem. Watching Wemby literally move to tears after that win wasn't just about a W. It was about the weight of the moment. Plus, let's be honest, seeing the Spurs sweep the season series against Kawhi while the Clippers crumbled, that's the kind of karma that makes every Spurs fan smile. Closing the season on a 29-4 run is championship-level basketball, folks. Even with those frustrating losses to the Nuggets, the trajectory is undeniable. The goalpost has moved. Anything less than a deep run now feels like a missed opportunity. This team has already shattered expectations, but the real test starts Sunday. Are they ready for the pressure, or is this still a learning year? Drop your favorite memory from this wild ride in the comments below, and make sure you're subbed so you don't miss our breakdown of the Blazers series. After all, the real fun is just beginning.